I'm Bridget. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be talking about what we'll be using for 7th grade math. This is a collaboration between the YouTube channel, the Ingrid Chronicles, and the YouTube channel, the Homeschooling Grammy. So be sure to check out their YouTube channels. A group of us moms are getting together and we're going to put a playlist out that shows what we're using for math next year. So let's get started. Alright, so this is our 7th grade math curriculum. We'll be using Saxon Homeschool Edition 8-7 this year. We typically do Saxon 4 days a week. We'll do a lesson, a worksheet, usually they're multiplication facts. We do the mental math, the lesson practice, and then the mixed practice, I have my son do the odds or the evens. Some days we don't do the mixed practice. I do try to have him do the mixed practice at least twice a week. But we always do the lesson practice and the worksheet and the mental math. So we'll be using this workbook here. Looks like there is some pre-algebra, so we'll be starting that in 7th grade. So this is this is the layout. There's a mental math warm-up, a new concept. It's a short lesson. It's 15 minutes of my time. Some practices of the new concept spelled out. Looks like maybe some new vocabulary. Once you're done with the lesson, there's the lesson practice, and then there is the mixed practice. And the mixed practice covers all of the concepts that you've already learned and just keeps those fresh. There's 30 problems. I usually have my son do either the odd or even, and we always do the lesson practice. Now we might only do the mixed practice once or twice a week. We only do math 4 days a week. And so we may do, depending on the lesson, sometimes we might cover 2 lessons and just do the lesson practices for those. And then other times we might just cover a lesson and do a mixed practice. If for some reason we get kind of behind, we might just do a mixed practice for a lesson we've already covered. So we do kind of jumble it up a little bit. I like this program because I feel like it keeps some of these concepts that they've learned fresh in their mind as they continue to master whatever the new concept is. This program can become redundant and can have some downfalls in that manner. Along with Saxon next year, we'll also be continuing our use of Life of Fred fractions. We'll be continuing our critical thinking. This is what we started this year, and we didn't make it very far through it, but what we did cover, my son learned very practical skills. In fact, I've watched him use those skills twice. It starts out kind of describing what an argument is or a discussion and when to argue and when not to argue. And one of the solutions to an argument that is given is that if there's a resource or a way to find the answer, there's no need to argue about it. Go look it up. And I have seen my son do that twice. One was regarding a chess game and a move, and whether or not there was a dispute on how one of the chess pieces was allowed to move. And another time it had to do with a country and what continent that country was near. It was Madagascar, and there was a dispute on whether or not that was on the edge of South America or Africa. And so in both cases, my son thought, let's look it up. And so this has given him real life skills. So I'm excited to continue on with this. But we are also starting logic. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. I might do one semester of critical thinking and one semester of logic. So we'll be using the introductory logic, the fundamentals of thinking well, by James B. Nancy. And that comes with the teacher's manual and also a student workbook. So we'll probably start this, I'm thinking, second semester of 7th grade. Another math topic we'll be discussing is money. How to make it, how to save it, how to use it. And we're going to start with this book for now. And this is really just a read aloud for him. There's, it's very simple, but we're going to start working with money a bit. Some fun projects we'll be working on as part of our math is bridges and tunnels, investigate feats of engineering. There's 25 projects in here. It's all hands-on learning. Everything from the physics of bridges to soda can rockets. And we did cover some of this in our physics class this year, but we'll be reiterating it a bit as we go throughout the year and maybe reviewing a little bit of our physics. And then skyscrapers as well. Another 25 projects in here. So some of these we have done a few times and maybe we'll skip over those. But this is really geared towards 9 to 12-year-olds, and they can read and do the project themselves. This is really something that my son can read himself and do himself without too much of my input. So I'm looking forward to these this year. So of course we'll still be working on math facts and times tables and those and fractions, and those are things we'll just continue to work towards mastering as we work through our core curriculum of the Saxon curriculum. And I think that pretty much sums it up. Thank you for watching. Be sure to take a look at the playlist linked in my description to see what other families are using to enrich their math programs at home, and hopefully you'll get some good ideas and some inspiration. And thank you again to the Homeschool Grammy and the Ingrid Chronicles for putting this collaboration together. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching.